And I think that one of the reasons why all these large companies kind of aren't very good at shipping, in their traditional software, aren't very good at shipping AI features because they have no taste. And because they have no taste, they just don't know how to QA this. And so it spits out something, they ship it. Again, they're probably also on deadlines. So they're not giving their team time to fail and time to keep iterating it. So that's why I think all of those things are pretty mediocre.
Click one more into they have no taste. Because I think that if I'm at a big company, that could just seem like a spurious insult. But I think there's real substance there. How do you define taste and how could someone develop it if they want to develop it?
I think it's we have to move to a world where we figure out how to QA with qualitative feedback, right? Not something that can be automated. And I think in these larger companies, that kind of qualitative feedback in a QA process happens at smaller companies almost organically because you don't have yet the apparatus. You're not investing the time to do these big unit tests. But I think you tend to move away from that as you scale. And so I think, when I say taste, I just basically mean you need to come back and reemphasize the qualitative side of testing some feature or output that you're getting from an AI product.
I would imagine that the other thing is to have a little bit of consistency, because it's so easy to produce so many different things. You end up having some of these tools being thrown at you that just does a lot of thing. And I've always been thinking about what is a founder's kind of role. And in many ways, I think about it in the context of Steve Jobs. My sense is that Apple was very consistent for a long time because people basically asked themselves, was Steve Jobs like this? And it became this kind of really easy way to QA stuff because you can just go he probably wouldn't like it or he would like it. And if he would like it, he would put it in. And so I think in many ways, I'm increasingly obsessed with this narratives becoming source codes, almost like that. If you don't have a strong story about what it is that you want to be as a company, but you just define yourself of what you do, you have this very difficult time to basically share that articulation. And therefore people don't really know if a feature that works in this way or that way should go in or not.
It's funny you say that because my knee-jerk answer to your last question about if you're a large company, how do you get taste or whatever, is I think someone in the executive suite has that taste. They need to be stepping into the QA process. They need to start doing themselves. They need to start basically being the backstop and start, creating a culture around
like
that.
Steve did, just like Steve did.
Like Steve did.
Yeah.
Yeah.